You exist within one reality, but countless others surround you at this very moment. Right now, endless versions of your life are pulsing just beyond perception, just beyond touch, ready to become your lived experience. Yet most people stay trapped in repeating cycles, experiencing identical patterns, identical outcomes, identical disappointments, questioning why their world never shifts despite craving something greater. Let me break this illusion for you. You're not imprisoned by destiny, karma, or misfortune. You're held captive because your entire being, your thoughts, your physical form, your feelings, your energetic signature, remains locked onto your current reality. You cannot escape through wishful thinking, you cannot break out by using force, and you definitely cannot fool the universal field through pretense. This quantum breakthrough isn't about trying harder to manifest. It's about stepping so fully, so consistently into a transformed state of existence that the universal field must reflect back an entirely different world. Here's what I mean. Most people believe manifestation comes from wanting, desiring something so intensely that existence grants it. But here's what nobody reveals. Want by itself creates nothing in the quantum realm. The field doesn't react to the intensity of your craving. It responds to how perfectly you match the vibration of that transformation. This means right now, even while you're speaking the perfect affirmations, creating beautiful vision boards, practicing detailed visualizations, you could still be broadcasting your old reality. How? Because beneath the surface, your system is programmed for what feels safe. Your nervous system craves familiar emotional patterns. Your unconscious mind transmits signals of worry, uncertainty, lack. Even as your aware mind declares, I desire wealth, I desire connection, I desire achievement. And here's what will shock you. The quantum responds to the strongest signal, not the loudest one. Let this sink in. The strongest signal emerges from your complete energetic expression. Not merely what you think, but what you experience, what you anticipate, what you actually become. That's why you can declare, I am prosperous endlessly. But when your body tightens with stress each time you see expenses, the field receives the tension, not the declaration. That's why you can imagine love constantly. But when your heart stays guarded and defensive, the field detects separation, not unity. This creates the cycle that keeps people stuck in their current reality. They assume change begins externally, with situations, with behaviors, with outcomes. But quantum breakthrough starts internally, with being, with harmony, with energetic matching. You must transform into the version of yourself that already exists within your desired reality. Not eventually, not when proof appears, but immediately. And here's where it becomes extraordinary. Quantum science shows us that every possibility exists simultaneously within the field of potential. Every reality, every version of yourself, every result you could ever dream, they are all already vibrating within the quantum. When you alter your vibration, you're not building something from emptiness. You're stepping into the version that has been waiting for you eternally. This explains why ancient wisdom keepers, brilliant inventors, and visionary minds throughout history have understood the power of frequency, sacred numbers, universal codes. Nikola Tesla famously declared, if you could grasp the magnificence of 3, 6, and 9, you would possess the key to the universe. These numbers aren't mystical gimmicks. They reveal universal rhythms, harmonics, and the fundamental truth that reality structures itself through vibration. Think about this deeper for a moment. Every ancient civilization understood this principle. The Egyptians built their pyramids using precise mathematical ratios that create specific frequencies. The Greeks discovered the golden ratio, which appears everywhere in nature, from flower petals to galaxy spirals. Indigenous cultures worldwide have used drumming, chanting, and sacred geometry to shift consciousness and reality. They weren't engaging in superstition, they were working with quantum mechanics before we had words for it. Modern science is finally catching up to what these wisdom traditions always knew. When researchers study the brain patterns of monks in deep meditation, they find specific frequency patterns, theta waves, gamma waves that correlate with states of profound peace, expanded awareness, and what can only be described as unity consciousness. These aren't random electrical impulses, they're coherent patterns that create measurable changes in both the brain and the surrounding electromagnetic field. This is why certain numbers, sounds, and symbols feel so powerful to so many people. Your consciousness naturally recognizes these universal patterns because you are made of the same fundamental frequencies. When you encounter sacred geometry, hear specific sound frequencies, or work with meaningful numbers. You're not just having a mystical experience, you're literally tuning your biofield to align with universal harmonics. So the question becomes, not how do I obtain what I want? The real question is, who must I become energetically to align with the reality where that already exists? And becoming isn't acting. Becoming isn't faking. Becoming isn't pretending. Becoming is a complete physical, complete spiritual transformation into harmony. This marks the beginning of your quantum breakthrough. You're not here to battle your current reality. You're here to ascend into the frequency of your new one. But before we explore deeper into the practical steps, I want you to pause and consider this. Which version of yourself has been driving your decisions today? Which reality have you been feeding with your focus, your awareness, your life force? And are you prepared to release that version so a new one can emerge? Rest with these questions, breathe into them, feel the resistance they create within you. Because next, we're going to examine the hidden forces that keep you locked in repeating loops. The internal resistance, the unconscious patterns, the emotional programming, and how they sabotage your attempts to transform. This is the layer nobody discusses, the part that reveals why countless people understand quantum manifestation theory, but never experience the actual shift. Are you ready to expose it? Now let's address the true reason people remain stuck. It's not because they lack motivation, it's not because they don't want change intensely enough, and it's certainly not because they're applying manifestation incorrectly. It's because they remain connected to the version of themselves that's designed to survive their current reality. And that version, though outdated, feels familiar, and the unconscious mind chooses familiarity over growth every time. Your current reality doesn't require your permission to continue. It only needs your participation. Each time you respond identically, repeat the same narrative, expect identical results, the signal grows stronger. It's like a deeply carved pathway in your brain. The more you travel it, the more permanent it becomes. Eventually, that route becomes unconscious. You're no longer selecting your reality. It's selecting you. This is where quantum physics meets brain science in ways most people miss. In quantum mechanics, the observer effect shows us that observing collapses infinite potential into one specific event. One particle, one choice, one reality. But here's the twist. You're not just observing reality through your vision. You're observing it through your beliefs, your emotions, your expectations. Now consider neuroscience. 95% of your actions come from your unconscious mind, which holds all your emotional conditioning, past wounds, beliefs, and identity structures. This means usually, it's not your conscious desire collapsing the wave. It's your unconscious programming. Let this register. You're attempting to manifest from the 5% of you that's awake and conscious, while 95% of you remains tuned to fear, limitation, suspicion, and survival. And the quantum responds to the dominant signal. So, when people claim manifestation fails, what they actually mean is I haven't yet transformed the internal observer that's creating my reality. This explains why people cycle. This explains why you can transform your career, your relationships, your location, and still discover yourself in identical emotional cycles, because nothing external can override an internal frequency that remains unchanged. Here's another way to see it. Your reality cannot shift if your observer hasn't. So, what keeps you anchored in the old one? Usually it's resistance. And resistance is subtle. It appears as overthinking, as delay, as emotional shutdown, as frantic productivity, as fear disguised as reason, as the voice that whispers, be practical. But resistance always reduces to one thing. Your system believes staying where you are, even if you despise it, is safer than jumping into the unknown. And that belief exists in your body. Stored wounds, suppressed emotions, inherited fears, they're all programmed into your nervous system. That's why you can understand something mentally but still cannot live it. That's why affirmations feel empty, why visualizations disappear, why you keep returning to identical old patterns. The resistance isn't in your thoughts, it's in your biology. Here's something most people don't realize. Your nervous system doesn't distinguish between imagined and real experiences. When you worry about future problems, your body produces the same stress chemicals as if those problems were happening right now. When you repeatedly think about past failures, your nervous system gets locked into defensive patterns that were appropriate for those old situations, but completely inappropriate for your current life. This creates what neuroscientists call neural grooves, literally carved pathways in your brain that make certain thoughts and reactions automatic. Imagine a record player with a scratch in it, playing the same few notes over and over. That's what happens when your nervous system gets stuck in survival patterns. Every new experience gets filtered through these old grooves, which is why you can change your external circumstances but still feel the same emotions and create similar outcomes. But here's what's incredible. Your nervous system is also the gateway to quantum transformation. When you learn to regulate your nervous system, when you can calm the ancient survival patterns and create new neural pathways, you literally change the signal you're broadcasting to the quantum field. This isn't metaphorical. Researchers using advanced brain imaging can actually see new neural connections forming in real time as people practice coherence techniques. The heart plays a crucial role here that most people completely overlook. Your heart has its own neural network, literally a heart brain with over 40,000 neurons. The electromagnetic field generated by your heart is 5,000 times stronger than your brain's field and can be measured several feet away from your body. When your heart rhythms become coherent, when you feel genuine appreciation, compassion, or love, this creates a cascade of positive changes throughout your entire system. Your brainwaves synchronize, your immune function improves, and most importantly for our purposes, your electromagnetic signature becomes incredibly powerful and coherent. When your nervous system becomes overwhelmed, it broadcasts danger to the field, even when your words say, "I'm prepared." That energetic conflict keeps creating the same limited results. It's not about you personally, it's about physics. Nikola Tesla once stated, "If you wish to understand the mysteries of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration." This wasn't symbolic, it was scientific. Your existence is a frequency. Your thoughts, feelings, body language, breathing, they all generate a vibrational signature that either attracts your desired reality or pushes it away. This explains why many people feel drawn to numbers like 36977 or sacred geometric patterns. They instinctively recognize that the universe communicates through pattern, that frequencies aren't random, they're woven into existence. You are not simply a person moving through life, you are a frequency broadcaster connected to a responsive field, and you've been transmitting the same old signal for so long, you've confused it with your identity. Let me share something that will shift your entire perspective on this. Quantum physicists have discovered that consciousness itself might be a fundamental force in the universe, like gravity or electromagnetism. Studies in quantum mechanics show that conscious observation literally affects physical reality at the subatomic level. This isn't philosophy, it's measurable science. The implications are staggering. If consciousness affects physical reality, and if you are a conscious being constantly observing and interpreting your experience, then you are literally participating in the creation of your reality every single moment. Not metaphorically, not spiritually, literally. Your thoughts, emotions, beliefs, and expectations are quantum forces that influence the probability waves around you. This is why two people can have completely different experiences of the same situation. It's not just about perspective or attitude, they're literally collapsing different quantum possibilities based on their internal state. The optimist and the pessimist aren't just interpreting the same reality differently, they're actually creating different realities through their conscious observation. Think about the placebo effect. In medical studies, people who receive sugar pills but believe they're getting powerful medicine often experience real, measurable healing. Their brain scans show actual changes, their blood work improves, their symptoms disappear. The belief literally becomes biology. Now expand that concept beyond medicine. What if your beliefs about money, relationships, career, health, and happiness are creating measurable effects in those areas of your life? What if you're not just hoping for a better reality? What if you're actually quantum mechanically creating it through the coherence of your consciousness? But here's the encouraging news. You don't need to fight that signal. You just need to stop reinforcing it. Let me ask you, where are you still resonating with fear while proclaiming faith? Where are you still preparing for rejection while seeking love? Where are you still attempting to attract prosperity while feeling undeserving? These are the hidden contradictions that prevent realities from shifting. In our next exploration, we're going to discover what actually creates timeline shifts, not in concept, but in lived, embodied experience. You'll understand how to harmonize the conscious and unconscious, how to bring your body into coherence, and how to begin showing up as the version of yourself that already exists within the new reality. But before we continue, I want to invite you into something authentic. If you've been sensing something awakening within you, and if part of your being is recognizing your own power, subscribe. Remain with this community. Evolve with us. And in the comments, share a word, one single word that represents the pattern you're ready to dissolve. Perhaps it's doubt, perhaps it's limitation, perhaps it's hiding. Whatever it is, name it, not for me, for yourself, because identifying the pattern is the first step in releasing it. Now we arrive at the section most people never reach. Not because it's secret, but because it's so straightforward, they miss it. Shifting realities isn't about commanding the quantum field to serve you. It's about aligning so perfectly with the version of yourself who already experiences the reality you want that your current reality cannot contain you anymore. Let me break this down. Imagine the quantum field as an infinite ocean of possibility. Every reality, every version of yourself, every outcome already exists in that ocean as a wave. When you focus, when you observe, when you align, you collapse a specific wave into form. But here's the secret. You don't collapse the wave through wanting it. You collapse it through becoming it. And becoming isn't just mental, it's emotional, physical, energetic. It's how your entire system resonates when you're in perfect harmony. So why do people struggle to become the new reality? Because they're trying to think their way there. They intellectualize the transformation. I understand abundance is possible. I understand love exists. I understand I can heal. But understanding isn't sufficient. Your body must understand, your emotions must understand, your breathing, your posture, your habits, your sense of self, they all must broadcast. I am now the version of me who belongs in this reality. This is where embodiment becomes crucial. Embodiment isn't trendy language, it's the missing connection. It's the practice of living the frequency you desire before the external world gives you evidence. Let me share examples. If you're shifting into a prosperity reality, embodiment might mean spending money with confidence instead of panic. It might mean breathing into your body when scarcity thoughts arise instead of collapsing into worry. It might mean approaching opportunities with receptivity instead of preparing for disappointment. If you're shifting into a love reality, embodiment might mean opening your heart when you want to withdraw. It might mean taking emotional chances. It might mean practicing openness even when your past hurts tell you to protect yourself. If you're shifting into a wellness reality, embodiment might mean treating your body as though it's already healing, already thriving. It might mean nourishing it with care, moving it with appreciation, resting it with compassion. Do you see the pattern? You don't wait for the reality to shift before living differently. You live differently and the reality shifts. This is why so many manifestation attempts fail. They're based on conditions. I'll feel thankful when I receive the job. I'll calm down when I discover the relationship. I'll feel prosperous when the money comes. But the quantum doesn't operate that way. The field isn't evaluating you or penalizing you, it's mirroring you. And mirroring happens instantly, not eventually. This brings us back to Tesla's wisdom, the 369. The universal patterns encoded in existence. These aren't superstitions, they're guideposts. They direct us back to the truth that life organizes itself around energy, not struggle. So the real work becomes, can you achieve coherence? Can you bring your mind, heart, body, and actions into alignment even when nothing external has shifted yet? Can you maintain the signal long enough for the wave to collapse? Because here's the paradox nobody mentions. The reality doesn't shift when you become exhausted from waiting. The reality shifts when waiting is no longer part of your vibration. Stop. Absorb that deeply. This is the quantum code. The version of you who possesses what you desire isn't in the future. They're vibrating now on a frequency you can access today. The question is, will you tune into it? Before we move forward, reflect on this. How would your day look if you acted, breathed, and moved as the version of yourself who's already in the desired reality? What small decisions would change? What emotional patterns would shift? What conversations would end or begin? This isn't about dramatic gestures. It's about consistent, subtle alignment. In our next section, we'll discover how to transform these insights into practice, how to stop cycling through information and start living the transformation, moment by moment. Are you ready to embody the reality you've been trying to reach? Let's start here. The only practice that creates change is the one you actually live. We exist in a time where it's simple to consume knowledge, collect techniques, watch endless manifestation content, yet never integrate. Why? Because consuming creates the illusion of progress. But progress only occurs when the body, the breathing, the actions begin to match the information. So, how do we bring quantum breakthrough into everyday life? First, you must grasp the principle of micro-alignment. Most people think shifting realities requires massive, dramatic changes. But quantum reality responds to coherence, not magnitude. A small action, performed with pure, aligned intention, can carry more vibrational power than a huge, frantic gesture performed from desperation. Let's translate this into practical, living examples. If you're shifting toward prosperity, your practice might be breathing deeply when lack thoughts surface, instead of spiraling into fear. Expressing appreciation for small resources, amplifying the signal of I am provided for. Spending money with presence and trust rather than panic or shame. If you're shifting toward love, your practice might be opening your body language when you want to contract or hide, reaching out with warmth instead of withdrawing in self-defense, expressing words of care, even when vulnerability feels risky. If you're shifting toward health, your practice might be tuning into the subtle feelings of vitality already present in your body. Selecting foods, movements, and rest with the energy of honor, not punishment. Catching the inner voice of criticism and transforming it to encouragement. These small actions are quantum keys. They communicate to the field, this is who I am now, not who I'm attempting to become someday, but who I've chosen to be today.
Here's a powerful technique I want to share with you that amplifies this process exponentially. It's called future memory creation, and it works by leveraging your brain's inability to distinguish between vividly imagined experiences and real memories. When you repeatedly visualize yourself living in your desired reality with full sensory detail, seeing what you see, hearing what you hear, feeling what you feel, your brain begins to encode these experiences as actual memories. This isn't just imagination. Neuroscientists have found that when people repeatedly visualize specific experiences, the same neural networks activate as when they actually live those experiences. Your brain literally begins to remember a future that hasn't happened yet. This creates what researchers call prospective memory. Your mind starts expecting these experiences to occur because they already feel familiar. But here's the key: you must include emotion in these visualizations. Emotion is the language the subconscious mind understands best. When you feel genuine gratitude for experiences that haven't happened yet, when you feel authentic excitement about opportunities that are still forming, when you feel deep peace in situations that are still manifesting, you're programming your nervous system to recognize and attract these experiences. The most successful reality shifters I've studied all use some variation of this technique. They don't just think about their desired outcomes, they live in them mentally and emotionally multiple times per day until those experiences feel more real than their current circumstances. They're literally rehearsing their new reality until it becomes the dominant program in their subconscious mind. There's also something called coherent breathing that can accelerate this entire process. When you breathe in a rhythm of 5 seconds in and 5 seconds out, you naturally shift your nervous system into a state of coherence. In this state, your heart, mind, and emotions synchronize, creating an incredibly powerful electromagnetic field. Many people report that practicing coherent breathing while visualizing their desired reality creates almost immediate shifts in their external circumstances. The breath becomes a bridge between your current state and your desired state. But here's what most people overlook. The practice isn't about perfection. It's about returning. You will wobble. You will slip back into old patterns. You will catch yourself thinking, feeling, or acting from the old reality. This doesn't mean you failed, it means you're human. The power isn't in never falling. The power is in how quickly you return. Every time you notice yourself slipping into the old frequency and gently guide yourself back, you strengthen the new reality. Every time you pause, breathe, and choose coherence over chaos, you reinforce the transformation. Every time you act as though the new reality is already true, even when the external world hasn't reflected it yet, you collapse the wave. This is the dance of quantum embodiment. Now, let's discuss tools. For some people, practices like breathwork, meditation, and visualization help tune the system. For others, working with sacred symbols, numbers like 369 or 777 or sound frequencies feels powerful. These tools aren't magic tricks, they're anchoring devices. They help the unconscious receive the message that I am aligned with the new reality. But remember, no tool functions without embodied participation. You can't delegate your transformation to a ritual. The ritual works because you work. So here's your invitation for today. Identify one pattern from the old reality you're ready to interrupt. Choose one small, practical action that embodies the new reality. Commit to practicing that action today with presence, with authenticity, with love. It might be something as simple as pausing for 3 conscious breaths before reacting. It might be choosing to speak one sentence from your desired self, not your fearful self. It might be sitting quietly and visualizing yourself surrounded by the frequency of your chosen reality. It's not about what you do, it's about how you do it. And the beauty is the quantum doesn't need time to adjust. It responds in the present moment. As you step into this practice, remember you are not alone. You are part of a collective of souls awakening to their power, rediscovering their creative essence, and learning how to dance with the field. And this channel, this space, is here to support you. So before we enter the final part of this journey, the part where we explore how to sustain the transformation and truly live inside the new reality, I invite you, if this content has awakened something in you, if you're feeling the pulse of possibility expanding inside you, hit subscribe. Stay connected to this community. Stay connected to these conversations. And in the comments, share one small action you're committing to today, something that anchors you into your new reality. It could be as simple as breathe, or trust, or open. Your word matters. Your action matters, because you matter. So here we are, at the final phase of this journey together. You've traveled through the science, the energy, the unconscious layers, and the embodied practices. But now comes the most crucial part, sustaining the transformation. Because the quantum field doesn't care if you visit the new reality once. It reshapes around you when you live there. Most people approach manifestation like a single event. They visualize, they affirm, they journal, they wait. And when results don't appear immediately, they collapse back into the old frequency, not understanding that the true magic, the true transformation is in staying. Sustainability is the master key of quantum breakthrough. Let's be clear, this doesn't mean forcing yourself to feel positive all the time. This doesn't mean ignoring challenges or pretending you're high vibe when you're not. This means developing the emotional and energetic capacity to return again and again to alignment. Every time you wobble and come back, you strengthen the signal. Every time you notice an old pattern pulling at you and gently choose the new reality instead, you reinforce the transformation. Every time you act, speak, breathe, and choose as though you already live in the desired state, the old reality loses its grip. This isn't punishment, this is mastery. You are learning how to become the quantum signal that collapses the wave. Not occasionally, not when it's convenient, but as a way of existence. Let me offer you a simple roadmap. First, morning attunement. Start your day not with your task list, but with an energetic tuning. Ask yourself, what frequency am I bringing into today? Are you carrying fear or trust? Are you expecting struggle or flow? Set the intention even before your feet touch the ground. Second, embodied living. Throughout your day, practice micro-alignment. Notice when your actions match your desired reality and when they don't. If you want prosperity, are you acting with generosity or scarcity? If you want love, are you opening or defending? If you want health, are you nurturing or neglecting? Small, repeated shifts matter more than occasional big leaps. Third, emotional mastery. You will get triggered, you will fall into doubt. This is human. The power lies not in avoiding it, but in returning. Breathe, ground, reconnect with the version of you who already knows, this is who I am now. Fourth, supportive environment. Surround yourself with reminders, symbols like numbers, mantras, or sacred images that anchor you into coherence. Stay close to communities and voices that reinforce your chosen reality. Let the external world become an ally, not a distraction. Finally, gratitude as amplifier. Gratitude is the emotional signature of already having. When you practice gratitude, you signal to the quantum, I am aligned, I am receptive, I am complete. This amplifies the coherence of your field and accelerates the collapse of the desired reality. But let me teach you something about gratitude that most people miss. There are actually 3 levels of gratitude, and only the 3rd level creates quantum transformation. The first level is gratitude for what you already have. Your health, your family, your home. This is beautiful and important, but it mostly maintains your current reality. The second level is gratitude for positive changes that are happening. New opportunities, improving relationships, growing abundance. This helps accelerate positive momentum. But the third level, this is where quantum magic happens. This is gratitude for experiences and outcomes that haven't manifested yet, but that you're so aligned with that you can feel them as already complete. This isn't positive thinking or wishful hoping. This is a deep cellular knowing that these experiences are already real in the quantum field and are simply moving into physical form. When you can feel genuine gratitude for the love that's coming, the abundance that's flowing, the health that's regenerating, the opportunities that are appearing, when you can feel grateful for these as existing realities rather than future possibilities, you create what quantum physicists call retro-causality. You're literally allowing your future to influence this present. This is advanced consciousness work, and it takes practice. But when you master this level of gratitude, reality becomes incredibly responsive to your intention. You're no longer trying to create something from nothing. You're aligning with something that already exists and feeling grateful for its inevitable appearance in your physical experience. There's one more crucial element I need to share about sustaining transformation, and that's understanding quantum entanglement in relationships and environments. Science has proven that when 2 particles become entangled, changing one instantly affects the other, regardless of distance. The same principle applies to consciousness and relationships. You become entangled with the consciousness of people you spend time with, places you frequent, and even content you consume. This is why your environment and relationships are so crucial during periods of transformation. If you're surrounded by people who are stuck in limitation, complaint, and victim consciousness, their quantum field will constantly pull you back toward those patterns. It's not their fault, and it's not yours, it's just physics. This is why many successful reality shifters temporarily limit their exposure to certain people, environments, and even news or social media during intensive transformation periods. They're not being antisocial or spiritual snobs. They're managing their quantum environment to support their new reality rather than reinforce their old one. Remember, you're not doing this to arrive somewhere. You're doing this because this is the destination. You are not chasing the reality, you are becoming the reality. I want to thank you for walking this journey with me. You are not the same person who started this content. You are vibrating slightly differently. You are carrying new awareness, a new code, a new possibility inside you. The real magic isn't in remembering everything we've discussed. The real magic is in what you do next. So here's my invitation. Not a homework assignment, not a checklist, just a living, breathing invitation. In the next 24 hours, surprise yourself. Do one thing, just one, that belongs to the version of you living in your desired reality. Maybe it's a choice, a gesture, a conversation, or even a private shift inside your mind or heart. It doesn't need to be big, it just needs to be real. And when you do it, know this: you are no longer waiting for change, you are being it. If this content has stirred something in you, I'd love for you to subscribe, not because you're following a channel, but because you're stepping into a space where these kinds of awakenings are our foundation, where we keep raising the frequency together. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for your energy. Thank you for daring to become more of who you really are. Keep going, keep choosing, keep surprising yourself, because when you do, the quantum field always responds.